Spot, and there's a dome where projections of the moon and the stars are shown around the edge. And I spot, and that's why Australians don't just. Now you're in, just trust your feelings. Now you're in on it, your life's about to change. Now you're in, don't overthink it. Now you're in on it, dear, don't feel the same. Now you're in.
What's up, y'all? Welcome. Happy Sunday, folks. How we doing? Sound okay? All right. What's up, Laurie? Woots in the chat. Anson, Howard, Jason, Melodome, what up? Austin, good to hear it. No longer on the ball. Welcome. Run Boston. Love it. Justin, Parody Bear, and Twilight Nights. All right. Today's stream is called Us and Them. And I'm going to get into a little bit of that. Got to put my my glasses on. So, first things first. How y'all doing? Did you guys have a good week? Feel free to be as engaging in the chat. I will check it sporadically, but not, I don't know, I have little alarms here just to make sure that I check. I have like a lot of serious questions and comments and points to make today, but I don't want it to be too serious all the time. So I'm always up for a song request or anything kind of fun. Whatever y'all thinking. Let's see how it goes. So, what'd you guys think of that? I don't know if you guys are just getting here or what's up. Let me fix my camera. Something's off. Something seems weird. Of course. I got new lighting, and I don't know if it worked out very good. There we go. That looks better. Okay. Did you guys see that video in the very beginning there? I went on the TikToks with what the TikToks here, and there were these videos. There's a channel called Flat Earth Musicals, and I can't tell if these kids are like making fun of it or not. I don't think so, but I was really impressed with what they did. Let's see if I can. Let me put that back on over here. Here we go. It's a channel called Flat Earth Musicals, and let's see.
Well, there's a spot, and there's a dome where projections of the moon and the stars are shown around the edge. And I spot, and that's why Australians don't just. Now you're in, just trust your feelings. Now you're in on it, your life's about to change. Now you're in, don't overthink it. Now you're in on it, dear, don't feel the same. Now you're in, and now we're in on the secret.
Isn't that great? Oh, it's really good production. Those guys are. There's another one in here I'll show you.
There's only one thing in our way, and that's overwhelming scientific evidence that the earth isn't flat. It's just
So it's pretty obvious these guys are making fun of it, but I still like it though, because everybody in the comments are like it's opening it up. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Trying to find other flat Earth stuff on TikTok as I'm kind of deep diving into it, and just kind of just feeling out the climate over there. Um, Anyways, us and them. Starting off with a Pink Floyd song, and he's been saying a lot of woke bullshit for a long time, but he's been dropped by his publisher over his comments on Israel. And I think it's kind of funny. I mean, he's been kind of doing this for a while, but in many ways, he has been playing ball. And he's just at 80 years old, like, nope, sorry. And what is going on with the us and them in this situation is kind of similar to what's going on with the flat Earth community. And it really comes down to seeing everybody else as a thing. And that's one thing that it's always rubbed me the wrong way about like Jews and Gentiles, be honest. I'll be honest. I don't want to talk about this too much, but the idea of having a word for everybody that's not one of us, it creates this division that it's like you're opening up. I don't know. People do it so like carelessly, but what you're doing is you're confusing the your relationship you have with others, because empathy is something that is only given to other people if they're one with you. It's easy to take away your empathy for somebody else immediately as soon as you see them as an other. I have no empathy for Nazis because I was told they're horrible. So not only do I don't care when I hear about them dying, I root for them to die. I'm an empathetic person, but I was told they were evil and it's them versus us. So you get excited when someone's wearing a swastika like in a movie. You're like, yeah, kill that guy because he's evil. And then if you're like, oh wait, no, but he was actually just a spy. Like he's one of us, but he didn't know, and so they killed him. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh. It's amazing how quick our empathy just dwindles. So I wanted to watch. I knew that was going to happen. I wanted to watch this video in real time here.
This episode is supported by Prudential. How do we weigh our own best interests against the best interests of others? This question can be extended beyond me versus you and into the us and them. How do I weigh my family's self-interest against the needs of a family I've never met? What about the citizens of my country versus citizens of another? At a number of levels, we build in-groups and out-groups. There are people with whom we most closely relate, fit and belong, and there are people outside of that. Social psychologist Henry Teifel proposed that the groups you belong to, whether it's your religion, your family or a football team, give you a sense of social identity, a sense of belonging in a social world. Teifel calls this social identity theory, a theory he developed after surviving as a prisoner of war in Nazi-occupied Poland. Teifel immigrated to Britain, where he later ran the classic minimal group experiments. Participants were divided into groups completely randomly and asked to allocate a reward. They immediately showed favoritism towards those in their own group and maximized their own group's outcome.
So yeah, just randomly. Just like for no reason at all. There's no history. There's no, oh, you're a Polish like me, or this just randomly. We tend to do this.
A trivial division between people was enough to trigger discriminatory behaviour. These discriminatory attitudes can serve several purposes. For example, believing you're part of a good group builds self-esteem. It's not a bad thing to be proud of your family or friends. But the flip side of this is creation of bad groups and stereotypes about others.
I couldn't agree with this more. One good example that always plagued me was, people asking me, "Are you a cat person or a dog person?" And I've always liked them both. But the people I knew that were cat people, or actually usually it's dog people. Let's be real. Dog people hate cats. They hate them. Fuck those dog people. I love cats. You can't like them both. for some reason. And like the more you love a dog, the more you hate cats. That's not the best example because you can love them both. Whereas other ones, you can't be a flat earther and a round earther. You can't. But still, there's something inside of us that like we just can't help do this. Yet we make these distinctions all the time, like carelessly, not recognizing that this could create an equal and opposite effect for those that oppose us. Waking up to flat Earth for me, like I didn't think about it going down the rabbit hole. I wasn't like, okay, eventually I get to be like on team this. It just kind of happened that way based off of how the overwhelming and surprising amount of pushback I was getting by going down this role. And I'm like, all I'm doing is just like asking questions and being curious. Like, is that okay? World, is that all right with you? And just like I did not expect the pushback, so it pushed me in this little area of like, oh yeah, well fuck you, I'm gonna go hang out with these guys, all you globers, all you not like normies. They're so stupid. I'm gonna get away. I'm not gonna watch any of your movies anymore. I'm not gonna listen to any of your facts, any of your movies. I'm not gonna read your books. You guys just don't see the world the same way. So everything you say is under those pretext bullshit. So how could I listen to it? All of you discredited, blah. And it was, and I'm sure you guys can all understand that. Like, wow. Like I did not want that. I wasn't like shopping for that, but it's what happens. Now, it makes sense. Like if they're going to push back that hard at you, you're going to push back hard at them and create those walls. And that's just what I've ultimately realized where the negative aspects of waking up to flat Earth have taken me. And I'm just kind of saying no more. I need to like think about this shit and figure out how to hold on to this truth without looking at it this way. Because that doesn't sound like a very good sell on truth. And honestly, if flat earthers don't figure this out, this movement will be going nowhere. Because we're kind of just placating. I mean, I just see it like most of them are just kind of placating to. I don't mean to say most. I'm sorry. Everybody's doing their best. I'm talking about me too. I'm going through this in real time. I'm not better, and I will get triggered, and I will react, and I'm no different. I'm just noticing things and trying to be honest with myself and be public about it with you guys in the process. So basically, like I recognize that this movement is going to be a generational change. It's not going to happen overnight. Like you wouldn't expect to tell you like racism obviously is dumb. Obviously, it's obvious. But if you were living in the South like 100 years ago, that's your truth. That's your foundation. Maybe I don't even know if that's really true, but like that's what I've been told. So try telling an 80-year-old grandma to stop being racist. It's not going to happen. Like that dies when she dies. And ignorance on this topic dies when the people who are too married to it just die. It's just the way it's going to be. Sure, there were people that are 90 that were racist that aren't. It happens. It's rare if they're being honest with themselves. So there's no rush. So alleviate your pressure there. And now I just feel like it's time to kind of think inward and just be honest about what we're doing by making this leap into this change. So let's watch the rest of this.
Negative ideas about an outgroup as a whole. When it comes to social identity theory, these stereotypes may vary in severity and negativity depending on both the in-group and out-group studied. But research has repeatedly shown that cultures and societies all over the world consistently carry strong negative stereotypes about one group in particular. immigrants. Immigrants are people leaving an outgroup and attempting to join your in-group for any number of reasons: safety, security, or just new opportunities. Research in intercultural relations has shown while the stereotypes people hold for immigrants may vary by their nation of origin, level of education, religion, or socioeconomic class, the connotation tends to remain negative or ambivalent at best. And this is problematic. When immigrants attempt to join an in-group holding negative stereotypes against them, their ability to integrate and contribute becomes more difficult, and everybody loses. Luckily, scientists have also studied how to reduce this empathy gap. In one experiment, participants in an fMRI were first shown images of members of their in-group receiving a painful shock, and members of an out-group receiving the same shock. As expected, the participants reported feeling more empathy for the in-group individual, and
Right, exactly. You have to ask yourself, do you fantasize? I mean, I know I do. I love showing people who've given backlash to me like proof. Like it's almost like a fantasy. Like I've I've talked about it many times. One day when I have more money, I'm gonna just have a giant "I told you so" like in the clouds or some shit. and I'm not gonna lie. Like I was kind of kidding, but like I was less kidding about it than I am now, which is scary. You know, like why don't doesn't everybody, if you really think about it, like don't we all just want love everywhere? I mean, let's just be honest here. Like the more divisions, the more them. Like so we got to be careful about where we do draw these lines, in my opinion. If we want to just have like a a healthy, loving life, divisions will make it harder. Will make it more low vibe. And that's just a fact. I mean, it's good to have your crew and your culture and all that. I'm not saying everybody should just be of like, integrated. I think that's really like that's like extreme on the left. But having a good understanding of it and not just loosely just making these ties. Oh, you're Austin hates cats. That's pretty tight. Yeah, fuck cats. You can't like them both. Anyways, let's go here.
that was supported by their brain activity. Then participants were shocked themselves. However, in this case, a member of the participants' in-group or out-group could give money to save the participant from the shock. The participants were told whether or not they'd been spared and who had paid to spare them. Seeing a member of their out-group help them built empathy for that out-group. And
Isn't that amazing? So yeah, somebody paid money so they didn't experience pain, and when they found out it was one of them, not one of us, now their empathy, their empathy actually starts to grow, and there's less division. So what does this teach me? This teaches me that something I care about so much as the truth. I do. I'm obsessed with it. And when I got to the flat earth realm and I recognized it, and you cannot prove that it's a spinning ball, like I immediately started thinking, this pisses me off so much that humanity is it's just embarrassing and disturbing how much it's pushed on fellow humans. It just makes me mad. Like kids every day are in class just wasting time learning lies. Like that's not good. I have empathy for them. And it's a lot easier, just like we did during the lockdown, like for the people that were, not seeing it and like pushing and enforcing injections to be like, oh, well, I hope they die too. Oh, fuck them. That was a good way for us to cope during that. And I definitely did that. But this is a different topic. This isn't as urgent, and it's too high vibe of a discovery to lump into that, in my opinion. So ultimately, like as soon as they feel like you're one of them, and you're not on their team, a wall will come up, right? Doesn't it? And it does. If you're fake, they'll know. We all know. So I think the real secret to me is, I don't know, like is allowing people to live their lives, and not only just allowing, or just have an understanding of that, but also like think about it, like you don't want others to be thrown into a deep end when they don't even know how to swim. You don't want to do that to people. I know you wouldn't actually do that. You wouldn't throw a child into a pool that was 20 feet deep, would you? I wouldn't. Like, I would feel really bad. So there's an element of that, when we're there's an element of that when we're doing these things. We're going to have to consider we don't know where everybody's at background wise. And you're more likely to kind of make a good impression on the subject with that paradigm, like looking at it that way. But also, again, I'm not trying to think about ways to wake other people up. I'm talking more about like us and a mindset that's healthy for us now that we've discovered it. And that's it, because it can go many ways. Oh, I have an alarm here to drink water. Okay, let me just do that real quick. Yes. It's been a lifesaver. Okay. Let's take a watch rest of this
This
video
was
here.
supported by Brain Activity when they saw members of their in-group and out-group shocked again after the training. This suggests that doing nice things for members of your out-group helps pull all groups together. Beyond that, giving people outside of your group the opportunity to help you will build your own levels of empathy. No shocks necessary. Supporting our fellow humans, especially in times of struggle or change, can help us realize that beyond our family, friends, and community, there's a larger in-group that encompasses everyone, citizens of the planet Earth. And we're all in this together.
Aww. Isn't that sweet?
Thanks.
All right, now I'm done with you. Okay, so what did we learn there? One of the things that I've been thinking a lot about is just like who matters in your life. Oh, Jesus. And I think we could all probably agree that there's a couple of relationships that may have gone sour, that we've all like kind of wished didn't with this, or either that or people, maybe we broached this topic and a little prematurely, and now it's just weird or something. The other day I had old friends over. That was my first bandmates. So, they're totally great dudes. I love them to death. I'm not going to bring this up though. Yet we did practice in my garage, and I have like the Flattoberfest poster up there. I know all of them saw it, but they didn't want to bring it up, and I didn't have to. It was great, It doesn't have to be such a defining characteristic, but it did for me at the beginning. I felt like I needed to like overdo it and own it to counteract how shaky it felt. Does that make sense? To me, I don't know. I just feel like the way I handled it, like I just didn't know where I was going with it. And I don't know. I don't know. Let me look in the chat here. Let's see. Let's see how you guys are doing. Oh, yeah. Put Flat Earth musicals in the wiki. Yeah, do it. But, I got to be honest. I can't tell if they're like clowning it or not. I never know. So I'm not sure if we were there. At first, when I saw the Flat Earth musicals, I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah, Gen Z gets it. But then I'm like, wait a minute. Now I've heard a couple lyrics there. I'm like, I don't know. We're still have a long way to go. Oh my God, Justin. Crumb identifies as a conspiracy theorist. Pronouns told you so. That's genius. Yeah, that is the ultimate fantasy, though, isn't it? Like, we've gone through this. We've done the work. And the fantasy is to be recognized for it. And when we go to look for it, where is it? Love and hate is a thin line, and both are hard to let go of. I agree. Oh yeah, so check out trueearth.wikitida or wiki. How do I say that? Wikitide. Oh yeah, Wikitide. Trueearth.wikitide.org. No longer on the ball. Hell yeah! Glad you're here. Let's see. Yeah, love and hate is a thin line, and both are hard to let go of. Isn't that weird? It takes a little bit about being mindful, because I'm gonna show you guys some things a little later that I'm just like, I instantly want to get triggered and angry, and that's one of the downfalls of waking up to flat Earth that I don't think a lot of flat earthers are willing to admit. By making this leap, we are inviting so much more triggers into our existence that could take away our power. And now I constantly have to be like, okay, here's an example. Look at this. So here is a book I found on Amazon called Off the Edge: Flat Earthers, Conspiracy Culture, and Why People Will Believe Anything. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger so I can read it. A deep dive into the world of flat Earth conspiracy theorists that brilliantly reveal how people fall into illogical beliefs, reject reason, destroy relationships, and connect with a broad angle of conspiracy theorists in the social media age. Beautiful, probing, and other empathetic, whatever. An insight and fuels what fuels in conspiracy theorists. And you know what? There might be a lot of truth in there to some degree, but here's the problem. Like, conspiracy theorists, whatever fueled them, or the only ones who are open-minded enough to actually come across this uncomfortable truth that there's no evidence of a ball. There's none. It's terrible. So we just want that evidence. We're just recognizing that, it just was told that's what this is, and that's not enough. I'm not a believer in flat Earth. I just don't believe in the ball anymore. It's okay to take away a belief, isn't it? I don't believe crazy things. You do. Can we talk about that? And obviously, listen to me. I'm getting triggered already. I'm just getting triggered right now. So I got to take a little breath here. Have a little water. Because just the arrogance of this subject is like, they'll just believe anything. How about you just listen to what we're saying? But here's the thing. When your brain was learning flat Earth, when your brain was going down that road and you were like halfway in and halfway out, and all your questions are being answered, and you're doing the work. You're doing the actual work, which is hard. I remember laying in bed just going like after just being convinced, and then just being like, but if I think this, then everything's a lie, and I don't know if I can handle all that. And I'm gonna be like, no, it's not. It's got to be a ball. It's a ball. It's a ball. And then I put my pacifier in my mouth, and I had my beepy or whatever you call it, my binky. So the brain was in a giant cognitive dissonance of going back and forth because of how uncomfortable it was. Well, the collective consciousness is kind of doing that right now too. What your brain was doing is exactly what the world's doing right now. If you take every human being and equate that to a brain cell in the brain, and then you got like the whole world, the whole flat world, and that's the entire brain. So you have like different parts of the brain just saying this, and then you have the part that's protecting it from what is comfortable and familiar, and doesn't just screw up what they believe to be a foundation. And And that's the thing. It's like you would have it. You weren't mad. I mean, we are kind of mad at the part of us that didn't see it right away, maybe. But at least you were a little bit more patient, I'm sure, at the level that you were comfortable with to some degree. So I don't know. I'm trying to look at other people as like they're doing their best dealing with this because this won't go away. And we all know it's not going to go away. It can't. So they're all just doing their best to kind of hold on to the collective consciousness to stay sane. Because we, as an entire brain of society, we need to stay sane. We might have some insane brain cells here and there, but like overwhelmingly, we need to like keep our cool as best as possible. As best as possible. So the more fight back on this, I mean, like we might as well enjoy it. The hardest thing though is just not getting triggered and not letting it get to you, in my opinion. I mean, you can own it, but that's still like you're in defiance of it. You have to like I don't know. I just don't see in the future just like as this gets more and more popular, like I would just hate for it to, once it gets to like 50% flat and globe, like to not turn into like a giant war. And so like, because eventually when those numbers are going to start to go up, and they will, how big of a divide is it going to be? Is it going to be like cats and dogs, Yankees and Red Sox, or like, you know, Jets and Sharks? Who's like the most, like you put them in a room, they're going to fight? Israelis and Palestinians? I don't know. So, I mean, it's obviously getting easier to talk about this stuff, but where were we? Where was I? Okay, I was talking to you about the love and hate. Yeah, thank you, Emily, for spreading the word. Yeah. Usually manage to keep thoughts in, but trying not to have them at all. Okay, I'm glad that you said that, Anson. And welcome. Trying not to have them at all is a nightmare and a waste of time. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to like just say everything's good. Just look at them like this. No, like it's going to trigger us. It's how we transmute it and harness that is what we need to like focus on. Like I can transmute that into something more productive than yelling at people in like Reddit or Facebook. That's actually kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm transmuting it into this and pushing the love into the community instead of the hate to the them. This is my way of doing it. It's there though. Like I feel uncomfortable when I see debates and their cocky attitude and their dismissive, like overwhelmingly, like just smarmy, like, oh, but haven't you heard of this science book? And I'm just like, I wish it didn't affect me so much on a personal level, but me trying to ignore it, that only kind of like isolated me more. Even, you know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Okay, I'm looking over at the rock fan. What up, Amberson? Checking in late. What up? You're a cat person? Hell yeah. Fuck dogs. No. No, I like cats too. Agreed about truly pissed off about the globe law. Yeah. What up, Doug? Right on. Sarah G, how you doing, brother? I missed you in Vegas, but I thought that might be you in the floppy hat. Much love, everybody. That was probably me. I was there. Right on. At least if we do Jets and Sharks, we could all just dance it out. Exactly. The flat, globe, flat, a globe, a flat, a globe. That would be the best way to end this. Speaking of which, if you guys are coming into the chat, there is going to be a musical on this. Let me see if I can. I really love this little. This is a catchy ass song.
There's only one thing.
Wait, not that one.
There's a spot and there's a dome where projections of the moon and the stars are shown around the edge. And ice fall, and that's why Australians don't just. Now you're in. Just trust your feelings. Now you're in on it. Your life's about to change. Now you're in. Don't overthink it. Now you're in on it. Dear, don't feel the same. Now you're in. Now we're in on the secret.
Isn't that great? All right. Yeah, so maybe that'll be how it all comes out. It's just fat cow. I love it. All right. So all right. Much love to my Rockfin fans. So yeah, harnessing it for good. Using your gut to know. You guys know what's good and what's not. You guys know. Because I know this. I've been talking to Austin, Melodome, obviously. We had a little chat on Tuesday. It was awesome. We're going to do it again on Tuesday this week. And, we're just kind of talking about, just these kind of things is where I could feel, a lot of people in this community going, because not all of us are like diehard conspiracy theorists. I know I am, but a lot of people are just total normies just trying to live their lives and they don't care about Sandy Hook or 9/11 or any of this shit. They don't. You don't need to. Those don't have to be part of the same thing. So I don't know. I just think that there's something this isn't my ideas or anything. This is just what I'm picking up from other people. Like the vibes are getting too high to continue doing the same stuff that we've only been doing. It's, you know what I mean? It's just getting kind of stale, in my opinion, constantly worrying about proofs. Now, I do think it's important to talk about proofs, but I also don't think the burden of proof is on us. And I think it's okay to understand that. I'm going to play a video for you guys. And this is an example of what's going on and why we really don't need to. I can already tell this is gonna. Okay, hold on. Okay, good. I was watching Escape from LA, and I'm not gonna play the whole thing because I'm worried about it getting a copyright thing. This is a good example here.
It's on quick, doesn't it?
Your countdown clock is now activated.
Designer viruses, Pliskin. Wave of the future. Right now, you've got less than 10 hours to live.
It's already moving through your bloodstream. Go ahead, put your hand on that touchpad.
All right, so now we got Snake over here, right? This is Snake, and he's in the prison. This is when he's in LA, right? He's talking to these jabronis.
And it neutralizes the virus immediately upon injection.
Which I will personally authorize once your mission is completed.
Oh, what? All right. Now, that just pissed him off. They're in this room, right? And he's here, and it pissed him off. And what does he do? Ah! He goes over there and tries to assault him physically. But it didn't work.
A man is too dumb to survive LA.
We're holograms, Pliskin. A little credit. We're not that stupid.
All right, so why did he think that he was real? Why did he just assume that he can go over there and physically assault them? Why would he do that? Well, because his senses are telling him that they're there, right? That's what his senses are telling him. Until he did an experiment. Did a little experiment here.
Go ahead, put your hand on that touchpad.
That just so happened to be an assault. Oops, a little
Personally
farther.
authorize once your mission is completed.
I'm gonna do a little experiment, and oh my god, my senses were wrong. My senses were wrong. This is a hologram? I never would have known. That's not what my eyes and my ears and my whole senses are telling me. That's good to know. Well, now I can easily, safely say it's a hologram. We'll put that to bed. I'm not going to wonder anymore if this is a real person because it's obviously a hologram. But that's not what my senses told me. Now, we live in a world now where our senses are showing us a flat and stationary Earth. And when I try to go find this overwhelming proof, it's all circumstantial, gaslighting nonsense that ultimately has to come down to, well, why would they lie? Or like, you have this distrust. Like it's all gaslighting. And that was the problem. That's a problem. So the burden of proof, like tell this guy right now, tell homeboy Snake right here, we are holograms. Do you think he's going to take their advice? No, he's going to go over there and figure it out first. He wouldn't just bank on that. Maybe he would. But you would need you don't just assume. You're not going to, he didn't assume it was a hologram and then say, oh, well, can you prove to me that you're not? Prove to me that you aren't a hologram. Would anybody do that? No. So where's the burden of proof? It's not on us. So don't alleviate yourselves. Like, it is nice to send these proofs, and it helps everybody when they're waking up so they have the information, and I completely agree with that. For people that are willing to learn. But also, though, it just don't feel so inclined, don't feel like you have to, because you don't have, the burden of proof is not on us. I don't know what the world is. I know what it's not. Right now, I don't know what it is. It looks flat and stationary. That's cool. I don't have a belief. I used to have a belief. Not anymore. So why do I have to have prove anything? I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I'm just trying to be okay with the lack of belief and the wonder of what it is. We have every right to do that. Like what we believe as soon as you tell what you believe, that's where you create the line. That's the us and them. Oh, this is my belief. Oh, those that don't believe it, that's them. Well, I know what I don't believe, but I'm open to it still. I'm sure all of you guys are as well. Like, I'm open to the spinning ball. Just show me evidence that doesn't look like gaslighting or CGI or bullshit that doesn't work on a flat Earth. Everything works on both. There's a lot that works on flat only. And that's it. It's hard though. I don't know. And with CGI and AI, they're going to find ways to make it a little bit more deceitful, but once you see it, let's see, where was I? Okay. I'm going to try to power through some of these comments more. I'm trying to engage as much as possible here. Where is it? Let's go back here. Gotta learn to swim somehow. Yeah, I agree. You get that is true. That is a way to learn. Throwing them in the deep end. Jason says you want to feel worthy of it. Hopefully, I don't remember exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Gotta learn to swim. What up, Barton Fink? If you have some resources that I don't have, you can add them. Right on. Thanks, guys, for taking care of that. What up, Andrew B? Rusty Lemonade. What up? Garbage literature. Thanks, Laurie. Wish the ball wasn't so stupid and would make it easier. I know. It is stupid, but the problem, we were all there, I mean, it's so, how fast do we just forget that we were all there? I've only been on living without the ball belief in my consciousness for about, 7 years now? So, if If we were only supposed to be moving, let's say 20 miles an hour. Yeah, I know, right? Well, that wouldn't work. If it was 20 miles an hour, it has to be ridiculous numbers. Shifty eyes, shady, welcome. Not getting triggered is a supernova that is easily learned. Yeah. I mean, we are. That's like going to be our Achilles heel, is how triggered we get. And that's. But living by example will be so much more convincing. I would much rather just like people know I'm a flat earther and never bring it up. In fact, like they're not allowed to. I don't want them to. Not from me. That's my shit. And it doesn't define me to the point where I'm going to draw that line. I don't like using flat earth as a separator. Now, during the pandemic, those that were pushing a forced injection, I happily put a line in the sand. And it sucks. But I lost friends because of that stupid decision. And I would do it again. I would absolutely publicly put a line in the sand there. I did. I would absolutely do it. They believed something and I didn't. Their beliefs were kooky as fuck to me, that a rushed bullshit concoction was going to save them from a made up unicorn fart flu. Hypothetically. Now, but this is a different one. This is a different subject, and I don't like to have the same mindset in this one. Angela Baby Carson, what up? All right. Let's see here. Fake positivity is bypassing, but it works to be mindful of your feelings and then decide how you want to respond. Instead of just reacting, it takes practice and time. Oh, yeah. You guys are watching me in real time deal with this shit. I'm not a freaking, I don't know. These are ideas I'm just having, so I'm going to get triggered. And then I got to be like, it's all good. It's all good. I was them, whatever. It's all good. Because the earth is flat for everybody. It's not more flat for me just because I see it. It's everybody's world equally. Rusty says, I have dogs and cats. You're probably listening a little late. Yeah. Have both. You don't care for cats. Exactly. Angela Baby Carson is a dog person, I'm assuming. You got dogs, so you hate cats. It's an amazing phenomenon. If you like Coke, you hate Pepsi. She's a stray we adopted and we feed her now, and you guys are pals. Nice. Never gonna have an indoor cat again. Yeah, me neither. The smell of cat litter boxes is awful. Let them outside. They're fine. Andrew B says, never argue with stupid people. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. Mark Twain. Yeah, for sure. I don't know if arguments is such a drain on our energy. I try not to do it as much anymore, and try to recognize why I'm even doing it. What do I want? I want them to be like, oh my God, you're so right. I was wrong. You're so smart. Yes, Crumb. Oh, my life is so much better. Oh, and I'm just there I know I'm the best. That would be the best way for that to go down. I was just like Gilligan. Actually, no, I wasn't Gilligan, Andrew B. I was Hunter S. Thompson. What up, Holistic Media? One love, beautiful souls. We are the fucking best. We are, but the more, remember, the more we love us, it's just like a law of nature. You can't help hating out, or at least just be mindful of that. I could barely hang out with my own daughter. Normie strangers, no thanks. Oh, see, things are the things. Oh, see, these are the things that I wonder about. Like that's tough. That's gotta be tough. You know, because there's so many things we do agree on, you know, in society, and it sucks that this damn stupid spinning ball like has been such a wreaked so much havoc on like close relationships. It's tough, and I think that's why it's not just overnight being accepted. I think that's like one of the main reasons why we're getting so much pushback is because everybody knows deep down that it's going to do that. And I haven't really seen much, I don't know, many ideas out there how to do damage control on that. You know, like if you were going to make a commercial for Flat Earth, like be honest, what would you say? Yeah, it's great for you in many ways. You wake up, you see the world differently. You're no longer seeing the lies. You can see through all the bullshit on the TV, and it makes you not fall into the traps, and it feels really good. And then there would be the side effects, like it was like a medication. Warning: listening to too much Flat Earther will cause problems with your friends. People lose their sanity. You will lose many groups. Your husband might leave you. Your wife might leave you. Your kids won't talk to you anymore. You know, say it all fast. Flatexa. Ask your doctor if waking the fuck up is good for you. I think a lot of these problems can be solved if we're honest about the negative parts of it and kind of talk about it a little bit more. But if you can get the jab, it'd be way worse when you get it the fourth time. Oh, dude, I've already gotten 20 of those things. Justin says, I found creation because of it. Yeah, me too. I was an atheist. I was like, but if it's this and nothing, this is life is meaningless. I was too. There's so many wonderful things that it brings. I'm not debating that. And I think any flat earther will tell you all the wonderful things that comes along with it. What I think flat earthers are bad at is admitting the negative things. And being honest with themselves about that effect that it's having on them. Pepsi is the worst. Yeah, Pepsi sucks. Let's check out the old Rockfin Ruski. Wow, that's the bomb song on TikTok. Yeah, isn't that tight? The world's flat, and there's a dome. Flat Earth musicals. I'm gonna reach out to them and see what their deal is. All right. It's 4:20. Oh, yeah. What are you in, like, mountain time, Justin? Appreciate your perspective. Thanks, Sarah. Hope I'm not triggering to you guys. I don't mean to, like, talk shit on the community because I'm talking about it like this is my thoughts right now. This is me just kind of trying to be a little bit more mindful of just what's real in my head. Because I'm just, you know, I don't like being so divided. I don't like it. And it's just so much easier to understand. Like, I don't know. It would be nice if there was if I could like, there's lots of literature on similar things, but like, I'm just like with this topic, because it's right, it's such a fucking gaslight. You know, it's like all I'm gonna get is just, well, you probably think that because you're insecure and blah, 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 blah. I was like, no, I just maybe that's true. Maybe all the reasons are true why people believe things. And it's like, oh, I just want to feel special. Like maybe who doesn't want to feel special? Maybe that was why I looked into a lot of stuff before. I need to feel special. That's why I'm going to look into the Federal Reserve. I need to feel special. That's why I'm going to look into Building 7 because I need to feel special. I need to feel special, so I'm going to look into Bigfoot. If that might be a motivator, but unfortunately, this is right. You know, if it's right, it's right. And yeah, we are reversing hundreds of years of damage. Exactly. We got time on our side, you know. Time is on our side. I'm gonna take a quick little break and play a little 2024 or 2023 recap by what's his name? Morgan Freeman. It's kind of fun. So let me see if I can find it here. Here we go.
A lot has changed in 2023. It was the hottest year in living record. But maybe that's about to be a problem in the past. See, 2023 was the year of artificial intelligence. We now refer to everything as AI. That said, ChatGPT does have its uses. In a year of incredible space-age technology, a commercial deep-sea submarine was controlled by a Logitech F-710. Probably should have used AI. Rihanna nailed her halftime show. But the great debate of the year was whose tour was bigger, Taylor Swift or Beyonce or the NFL. Across the pond, King Charles finally ascended the throne in a lavish ceremony. Basic necessities cost more for the common person than ever before. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan embarked on their worldwide privacy tour before getting dropped by Spotify for not doing any work. The royals? Better get some more frostbitten torture stories. Sir, where was I? I got too busy thinking about the Roman Empire. Elon Musk bought Twitter and drove it into the toilet. It's now 500 yards deep in shit-smelling foulness I can't even imagine. Or maybe I don't want to. Well, we go now to take ill-informed sides on incredibly nuanced global conflicts. X, everybody's favorite crypto hobbit, could get 111 years in Shawshank Prison, joining me, Andy Dufresne, and Top G. Sam Bankman not so freed. Britney was freed, though. The biggest question was, were you going to Barbie or Oppenheimer? Or were you doing Barbieheimer? Everyone was Barbie, it seemed. Except Ken. Everyone is Ken. With a ludicrously capricious bag. In a stand-up tour rife with controversies, Matt raised everyone's girlfriends. But he was actually trying to raise the guys. In the story of the most publicized jawline since 1975. Gonna need a helmet for that one, Matt. On the old television box, every single show was Pedro Pascal delivering a magical child to safety. Now, my team told me not to say this, but they didn't say I couldn't sing. Toxic gossip train continues.
I hope people stop doing so much fucking dumb shit. He's pretty tight. All right, well, I pretty much said everything I want to say. What do you guys want to talk about? Might not be the best initial motivator, but they got you where you need to be. Yep, excellent point. NASA is still at it. Sure is. NASA's kind of funny to me. I can't help just think, like, I'm just glad I live in a world where NASA exists. I'm pretty sure, like, NASA literally has said that, like, Uranus smells like farts. I mean, you gotta love that. else do I got going on here? Let's see. Look at the rock fin. All right. So, where was I at? 1 second, folks.
Catches on quick, doesn't it?
Whoops. All right. There's that, and that. Back here. And that's really all I got today. I kind of powered through it. So, this Thursday, Laurie and hopefully a few other people, we're going to be doing like a live kind of chat on this. I'm going to continue with this us and them concept. And hopefully maybe I can get Austin on too. Thursday at 6. Because I really want to start talking to people about their personal experiences and not so much about how stupid and how hard it is talking to normies, but just being honest and vulnerable a little bit goes a long way on this subject because if you come at people like a lion, they're going to recoil. But if you see like a puppy dog or like, a baby, like you don't recoil. You gravitate towards it because they're not like, yeah, why not just say it? They're like, they're vulnerable. You can like go murder a baby right there. You can go, ah! But they're like, la, because they're offering that vulnerability. It's like it opens something up. It connects with human beings. And so, I can talk for hours about all the things that Flat Earth has affected me in my, without my ego getting involved, But I'm going to save that for another one. I'm going to save that as more of a conversation. There's so many factors that goes into Flat Earth besides just I learned this and I found God. There's a lot more. It's just, I think it's amazing. I'm so happy that I'm part of that. Don't discredit other topics presented by other people any less. You could still get cooking advice from a Glober. It's okay. You can do that. Just not, advice on what the hell's going on up there. That's all. That's it. I don't know. Yeah, click that like button, y'all. Much love. Some of us were mutilated for calling out the fake moon landing back in 1969. No shit. What up, Chief Center? Welcome. I don't understand how all y'all boomers were like, I can see through Buzz Aldrin on the TV. He's transparent. That doesn't make sense. I would have been... I don't understand how they pulled that off. But... oh. The Great Awakening, the end of ignorance and complacency. Yeah, the apocalypse is... Eventually, guys, it's just... This is a truth that, like, is going to just transcend beyond people like us, And it's up to us, like, how inclusive we want this to be as a group. Because it doesn't really look like if we're going to be honest about all of the effects that it's having, or if it's damaging relationships, and we can just go beat the drum that like, yeah, well, it's okay. I don't talk to my brother anymore, but we had a good relationship before, but now we don't. Well, fuck him. He's just a stupid sheep. Like, no one really believes anybody that, like, that's a better way to live. It's not. So, but to say something like, I just ignore it, or I don't care, or it just is what it is, or if only he would see it, then everything would be fine. Those things, those excuses I've heard 1,000 times, not in my own mind and others' words, and I don't see it getting anybody anywhere. So these are the kind of conversations I want to have with people. And so on Thursday, I'm going to have a call-in show. We got Laurie. I'm hoping I can talk Austin into getting on, but I'm going to also have a link. If anybody wants to come out, and you can be anonymous, you can not be, you can put on your face, you could just do audio, whatever. I just kind of want to get the ball going on talking to people about the inward changes that kind of goes along with this, and start being a little more real about it, instead of just everybody's stupid, everybody just not seeing it. Because I don't think this movement can get much farther unless we take a hard inventory on ourselves. What up, Austin? Yeah, 6 o'clock on Thursday is what I was planning on doing. I hope that's not too late. That's what I was thinking. Sometime I might be able to work around another time, but sometime Thursday. But yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. Yep. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a stream. It feels pretty good. Let's see here. When I realized the moon landing, let's see. I was 10 for the moon landing, and of course I believed it then. Yeah, of course. And plus, if you didn't, like, you would have been so ostracized. That's the thing. Like, the only people that were flat earthers before 2015 were crazy people who just were so, who were, it takes a certain breed to be comfortable being that detached, to be okay with, like, 99.9% of the world thinking you're crazy. Like, it's only when the community gets stronger and becomes less taboo is when more and more people can see things. It's just the way we're wired. Nobody wants just to be, like, completely outcasted. So yeah, I don't blame all the boomers for believing that obvious lie. Flat and the 2020 thing have a lot of similarities. Oh, 100%, Tony. 100%, Tony. It was like right when I felt okay with the whole flat thing, like the world did that. I'm like, I got to do this again? I got to watch everybody gaslight me into nonsense again? No! I was like a trauma loop. When I realized the moon landing was staged, I only even was shown that in 2020. I cried for a day. The heartbreaking of learning the truth is profound. Crumb, you were right in asking us. Yeah. You cried for a day, for sure. Now, that's something I rarely see. And I appreciate that, Emerson, because there's, showing that part of us it's not very common. But, like, it's not like just learning flat earth and that's it. This is what happens when you learn the earth is flat. You learn that you live in a world where they'll waste 12 years of your life telling you lies, and you just have to deal with that. You live in a world where movies will overwhelmingly push a lie to get you to believe you are imprisoned into something and there's nothing else out there. You live in a world where they would go to these extreme lengths to make sure that you have a completely wrong perception of the shape of the realm that you're in. You're not even allowed to know what you're in. That's what you realize. That's what flat earth is. You realize that you have so little control to the point where you're like, oh, I live in a world where human beings would do this. Human beings would go to these great lengths to make sure that I remained completely oblivious to what this is. That's not the world I was born into. the happy world, that's a scary world. That's a very scary world. That scares the shit out of me. It's not just like, it's flat. Okay, cool. I'll move on. A lot of people like to pretend like it just like that. No. We also live in a world where they're taking $60 million a day of your hardworking money to fake it, to make sure that you continue that. That's what it does. How are we supposed to hear this shit and not get extremely cynical? Well, luckily, this community has, I'm blown away actually by how amazing this community has gotten. Like, it could have been so much worse. Like, spiraling out of 2015, like the way it manifested. So I hope everybody knows that I am not like criticizing. I mean, and it's an honor, and I couldn't be happier. And this is just how it is. But I'm just gonna be honest. Like learning this is when you're trying to wake people up to it. When you're telling people about it, you're trying to convince them. You're actively convincing them that their entire life, that they went through 12 years of school and then more, and it's all bullshit. You've wasted so much time. You just wasted so much of your life to a lie. What do you think about that? Now join us. Of course they're going to be like, no, I don't want that reality. That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound fun. Now, the people that have are just people that we appreciate truth to an above average standard, I guess, at this point. That's it. We value truth a little bit more than security. We value freedom more than security. That's the binary, really. That's the binary. Some people value security, and they don't really care. They just don't want to be in a rocky boat. They don't. And that's just some humans. So what do we do? How do we... It's important that truth is important to me, and watching other humans being lied to is so disturbing at this level that I've understood it, that it's too disturbing for me to just ignore. That's why I'm here. I'm doing this. I'm talking about this. I was on a normal path. That was fine, but I can't just ignore it. It's a calling that I'm sure all of you guys understand. And so that lie, what else does flat earth tell you about people? If you're trying to, what else does it change? Honestly, it shows how, it also shows you how, I thought my teachers, I just always assumed that teachers and professors and the world worked more like these people had a little bit more training, or a little bit more hands-on studying before they became professionals or authorities on subjects. I just assumed I live in a world where human beings exercise a little bit more, I don't know, cognitive dissonance and critical thought. And when you realize that this has happened, now I have, not only do I have to believe that there's been a lie for me, now I have to realize that human beings aren't as special as we think we are. I mean, we are, but we aren't also. Look how easy it is for people to run around acting so cocky, and it's based off of nothing. Nothing. I didn't think that was how humans were. That scares me. That's scary. And that's why people don't jump and gravitate, no pun intended, to this subject, because part of them knows that, and they don't want to live in that world. And neither did I. Neither do I. I unfortunately, I choose truth over comfort, and security. I'm like, I know, I don't like it either. I could be like Ben Shapiro. Oh, I ain't, truth doesn't care about your feelings or whatever. Facts don't. What I don't know. Whatever that guy does. But yeah, there's that one. And especially since like it's something that you can't go back on, and I've tried. I'll entertain any proof back to the ball. Give me that ball. I'll take the ball. I don't care if it's a ball. Just show me the proof so I can move the fuck on. It's not. And I'm like, now I realize that's the world. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And think about like the innocent people out there like that just, do you really want them to, do we need them to like understand that so quickly? Like, shouldn't that, like, it took 12 years to be this indoctrinated. Maybe it'll take 12 years to reverse it. And that would make the most sense. And that's okay. We got time. Time's on our side. The slower this is, honestly, the more of a foundation and lasting, change it'll be. It's okay. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, indeed, Crumb. The lie at the level makes me cry now. And it also fills me with such overwhelming joy that the real world is so much more amazing and we are wonderfully designed and loved. 100%, Emerson. And that's what makes it great. But you almost have to be an overly optimistic person by nature to kind of look into flat Earth. Because if you're just a realist, even, or a pessimist, I think your ego is going to run the fuck away. If you're a realist, you're going to be like, oh, I don't want that to be my reality, so I'm definitely not going to look into it. If you're a pessimist, you're going to become cynical and depressed the second you realize it and be like, yeah, I guess I'm closer to God, but, fuck it, whatever. What kind of God would do this on me? What kind of God would do that? Yeah, everybody has to be an optimist at this point just to look at it. Eat that steak. I know. Oh, ignorance is bliss. Hell yeah. Our meeting? Tuesday. I was thinking, Austin. Tuesday, same time if possible, like the same time that worked last time. I think it was like 10 a.m. or something. Yeah. So finale. My family and I watched the moon landing while on vacation in Maine. Nice. Justin says, I am now addicted to the truth. For sure. I understand that. That's what happened to me. I became obsessed with all the brainwash reversal. I'm like, if I can be brainwashed like this, then what else can I be brainwashed in? And I've just been in this like playing devil's advocate, looking at the other side of things ever since. It's a more healthy way to get your dopamine than many other of our coping mechanisms. Taking Back Eden, welcome. All right. Much love, much love. You guys are great. Looking great. Thank you. Imagine all disappointment for those who have known all along. God, exactly. Like the 2020 thing, the best thing about being a flat earther is that not for 1 second did anybody fall for it. But I think the most maddening and psychologically damaging part of the whole 2020 nonsense was like the first year when even baby truthers or whatever you want to call it, like people that you thought would see it didn't. And a part of me always wonders, like, I kind of wish I did fall for it just a little bit, because that's 6 months in the beginning when like smart people who should have saw it didn't yet, and only really like flat earthers did. Like, honestly, it's just what it seemed like. Like not even like questioning at all. It was like, this is so obvious. This is so obvious. I can't believe everyone's falling right from the start. That was really, really, really. That was really, really disturbing. It wasn't until like you start seeing like Jim Brewer talking about it, and then like a couple people allowed to talk about it when it started being less, because it's like finally like I'm not like that's crazy like, but 100% Chief Center. That is. Oh, I gotta drink my water again. 100%. It's very disturbing to see these things without a giant amount of other people seeing it. Like it takes a certain breed to be okay and comfortable with that. And I don't know if we're supposed to, as a species, like have, like for me to live half my life with this one idea of what the world is and then just shift that in the middle. No one's ever done that. How many people have done that in history? No one. No one. No one's like, oh yeah, you know how it goes. Like, you think the world's a certain way, and then when you get to about 35, you're gonna be shocked that it's completely different, and this is just part of being a human. No. And then not only that, then I turn 37, and then the whole world will shut down. That's just how it works. No. Nope. So who knows this? Like what long-term psychological effects it has. Like the day I saw the sun go from 93 million miles away to, I don't know, probably something like 3,000. I'm not sure. I don't have the sextant. But the day that happened was such a mind-blowingly like strange day that it teetered over into that. I'm like, yeah, it's right there. Like it was so heavy on me. I had no one to talk to. No one would listen. Every time I tried, it just made things worse. What a weird experience to go through. It's such a weird experience. No fret, our Heavenly Father gives protection. I agree with that. I've felt a lot closer to the divine ever since this whole thing. Everything has been a beautiful lesson, and I've been blessed. That money goes to doing science, like tardigrades in space vacuum. We need that. The 3 monkeys covering the eyes, mouth, and ears. Yeah, I've seen that. Info has been taken on from you and more experienced flat earthers. We'll try not to get triggered and be nice to people. Yeah, I've seen it. Like Dave Weiss is probably he's really good at it. Like he's learned how to just have it bounce off. There are some, yeah, and it's amazing. And I'm trying to learn how to do that right now. I'm trying to learn how to be better at that so I can maintain the relationships in my life without being dependent on them seeing things my way for it to work out. That's selfish of me. I don't want to do that. I mean, the forced jab thing. That's luckily, like everybody gets that now. So that when everybody believed one thing, and now everybody believes the other thing pretty quick on that one. Thank God. So I don't really have to think about that one anymore. Oh, the less spoken about the fourth monkey. That's genius. Do nothing. Yeah, it's okay. You can do nothing. Take all that energy, all that beautiful energy that is given to us on this subject, all that outwardness, and put it inwards. Transmute it into something good. Transmute it into yourselves. Jason says, thanks, brother. I appreciate your honesty and openness. It's refreshing and takes a lot of guts. Much respect. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that more than you know, man. Like, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while. And I don't know. I've had this fear because of how gaslit society is with the subject. Like, I've had a fear of just, how much, like backlash I would get if, anything grew. But my problem with that fear was I was concerned so much with outward. And I'm looking more inward into this community, and I'm not trying to like build a giant channel, get a lot of subs. Like I just want to talk to you guys, and that's it. I feel like I'm fine. I could use a little bit more subs so I can like start doing super chats and shit, but that's it. That'd be nice. So I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you. Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff I'm gonna be chatting up about. I got nothing to hide. I'm just being open and honest and vulnerable with my experience. Just so because I think it would be ridiculous to assume that everybody else just handled this wonderfully, like easy. I don't buy it. I'm gonna be honest with myself. We're much more special. Oh yes, we're the most special. Nobody's more special than us. Eat that steak. Oh yeah, I saw that. It's not the shape they hide, creation. Yeah, they hide creation. They also hide, I think, like if you wanted to keep people in a prison without walls because it's too big, you just tell them you're on a ball. You don't have to make walls. It's genius. Wilson's my only friend. Nice. Castaway. Cog Dis is hard to get over. Crystal and Paint. What up? Hi. Detoxing from lies. Yeah. Detoxing from lies. You're always going to have lies, though. They're everywhere. It's how they bounce on you, how they bounce off of you, and how much it affects you on an inner level. It's all about having that strong foundation of who you are and being comfortable. Like Flat Earth is, it's penetrating. It penetrated my ego, my sense of self, my sense of structure so much. And that's probably why no one looks into it, but it affected me so much that it's changed me as a person so much. And almost to a debilitating level, like it almost broke me at one point, I think. And it probably has a lot of people, but ultimately made me stronger. So I feel blessed, but man, it wasn't easy getting to this far at all. And there's still a lot more to go. Remove all lies from the mind. Are there any left? Oh, there's so many things we're all brainwashed about that we have no idea that we are. We are. There are tons. We're not above anything, guys. We're not. Like, just being open to it, though. Like, keep digging. Keep pulling those weeds out. Because you have not... That garden is not looking as clean as we'd like to believe sometimes. Keep pulling out those weeds. I'm going to be pulling them out for life. Mm-hmm. Full armor of the Lord, belts of truth, breastplate of righteousness, as shoes for your feet, gospels of peace, a shield of faith, helmet of salvation, sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. I love you taking back Eden, but a lot of things you're saying sound very evangelistic. So I have to say it in the right voice. Full armor of the Lord, belt of truth, breastplate of righteousness. I feel weird talking like that. Let's see what else we're doing here. Flat Earth, it's genius. Where did they get a sphere from? LOL, honestly, it's quite perplexing. I honestly think that they were just trying to think of ways to take away God. Yeah, they had to think of a way to make us feel insignificant. But you're right. It's genius, though. I mean, look at it. Flat Earth Musicians is where it's at. Thank you for all you do. Yeah, I should probably play more music. But I just like talking about this. But I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. 100% pull out those weeds. That's what it is, yeah. And just never get too cocky thinking that all those weeds are pulled. There's no way. There is no way. Is that Rose 777 over there, or I'm assuming it's Rose? What up, Rose? Over on Rockfin. I heard your channel got taken down again. I'm so sorry. Aw. This channel, by the way, I don't even have a warning yet. I got all of my restrictions taken for now. Hopefully, there won't be any more. As long as I'm a good little boy. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Sufinale says, I remember when it hit me that the world was level. It was awesome. I wish others around me could see it too. That's the hard part. Yeah. It wasn't that awesome for me in the beginning, to be honest. I was really more focused in the very beginning on how pissed I was that I live in a world where we can just be this, taken advantage of. I felt taken advantage of. And I felt like, not just me, I felt as a collective society, I felt like we've been all taken advantage of. And just just watching people fight and fight for the lie, when trying to talk about it, all it did was just enforce that more. I'm like, man, it hurt me even more because I'm just like this, it's like watching somebody with Stockholm syndrome, just like, but I love my captor. How dare you? Yeah, he rapes me every night, but whatever. He loves me. Like, if you care about that person, you're just like, oh. But ultimately, it's okay. They have to have their journey. It's all about you. It's all about you. What is it doing for you? And just being honest. I think it's if we're gonna tell people about it, it's also good to have an understanding of what the full spectrum of what to expect when you understand it. Because we can sit here all day and talk about all the positive stuff, but if you really want to help other people see it, if you really want others to see it, it's best to understand all the negative shit too, and just be real about that. You know how many people are losing relationships over this? Or one like a wife or husband? That happens so much. Marriages destroyed over Flat Earth? Sure, I could say Flat Earth is so great. I found God. Well, it's not the case for everybody. Maybe they already had God, and maybe Flat Earth ruined their marriage. Guarantee it happens more than you think. But we're not. If we ignore that's also a possibility, and just blatantly just be like, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. Join us. Well, sure. It's worked for us, but it's better to have a good answer for well, then why did I lose my marriage? For those people, why did this? Why did it could be okay, well, if you talk about it, don't just say, well, your stupid sheep husband wouldn't see it, so fuck him. That's what's up. Don't you have God now? Yay! That kind of seems like the most common kind of consensus. But I don't think that's cool. Did you watch when Greg Locke versus Dean Oodle? No, I didn't watch any of that. I'm not watching debates. I don't need to. It doesn't. It's truth or porn at this point. I don't need convincing of anything at this point. I don't enjoy watching people who I disagree with getting fed a bunch of shit. I don't like it anymore. That's just putting me in a trauma loop. Joe Valdez says, I don't want to go to heaven to hang out with a middle-aged man that I barely know for all eternity. That sounds boring. I couldn't agree more, man. If this brain, I think about this, if heaven is basically just a continuation of consciousness, this circus needs to close down sometime. I'm sorry. These clowns need to retire at some point. If I'm still just oh, now I'm in heaven thinking about stuff. I wonder about this. I wonder about that. I think this and this and this. Forever? Who knows? Yay, Dottie's World in the house. What up, Dottie? What if it's way better than we think? Well, that's the problem. I'll have to think still. Taking back Eden, you know? I don't know if that sounds hard. But, you know, whatever it is, I'm sure it's something. It's out of my control. All right, John Locke's church was hit by snow and his church collapsed. Over 100,000 in damage. Truth equals money, always has, always will. Lies cost money, always has, always will. Well, I guess there's some truth to that, but it depends on how you want to look at it. I mean, it could just be a coincidence. But I like how optimistic you are. You know? On the rock fan. Oh, it is Rose. What up? I miss Rose. It feels good to finally stream once a week now. I feel like I'm like back in it. I know I said I was gonna be done like an hour ago, but Heart Fire Daddy. Oh. All right. I think I'm out of things to talk about. For all you guys that are new here, I'm going to show you guys the Flat Earth musical I came across on the TikTok Aruski. Where are you? Big fan of this.
All the earth's flat, and there's a dome where projections of the moon and the stars are shown around the edge. And ice fall, and that's why Australians don't just. Now you're in, just trust your feelings. Now you're in on it, your life's about to change. Now you're in, don't overthink it. Now you're in on it, the earth don't feel the same. Now you're in, and now we're in on the secret.
All right, now you're in on the secret. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys for watching. It's been about like a 2-hour stream. Oh, right. Do you do a stream every Sunday now? Yeah, I'm gonna be doing every Sunday. And this Thursday as well, on the Rockfin. To have some call-ins. I'm not gonna be doing call-ins. I'm just nervous about getting a strike. And that, but on the YouTube. So, but yeah, every Sunday now. I haven't decided on a time. This week I did 2:30 or Chinese dental time, Pacific. I told a hearty. Pretty big fan of that. So I like 2:30. Of course, I would come in when you're leaving. And we'll meet again. Don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through. Just like you always do, until the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. All right, I got a text. Just want to make sure I'm not doing anything Oh, nice. Thank you, Tony Coriolis, for the $5 tip. Oh, by the way, I think somebody asked last week if I was playing an original song, and I was. The opening one last week. I'll play it again at the end of this too. Somebody left me a tip during the week though. If you guys want to leave me some tips, that'd be awesome. I appreciate that. There's super chats and all that kind of stuff in the description. And all that, yeah. So we'll meet again. Don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. So won't you please say hello to the folks that I know. Tell them I won't be long. You'll be happy to know as you saw me go, I was singing that song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. So yeah, this last song I'm gonna do, since we were talking about cat people and dog people, somebody said they had a black cat. I got a black cat too, and this song is about my black cat. When I pulled you out of the water, crashing under the Market Street Bridge, more dead than alive. I rushed to you downtown to the pool house and spun you around the floor, spun you up in bed with your cigarette. And now you smile at every devil that you meet. Black cat in the middle of the street. When I pulled you up on my nightstand with your shadow glass halo, mushroom lips and fingertips, I rushed downtown to the store on the corner, and I picked up your favorite brand, knocked you up in bed again. And now you smile at every angel that I meet, la 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 la, like a black cat walking in the middle of the street. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll be here next Sunday and Thursday, Rockfin with guests and call-ins. So, thanks so much.